I was like, I just, like I think about not being here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think mental illness and substance abuse are two things that go so incredibly hand in hand that people don't put in the same conversation always, and they are eternally interlocked. And so I don't know if the reason why I spent 10 years struggling to beat an addiction to heroin and Oxycontin and Xanax and those drugs was a result of my severe anxiety, or if it was a contributor to my current severe anxiety. I can't figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, my anxiety has been really bad over the past 6 to 7 years. Once I got clean about 10 years ago in 2010, and maybe in about 2013, 2014, I stopped being able to completely control how my mind works. You know what I'm saying? And that revolving cycle of thoughts and that feeling of, you know, like I'm not good enough, or those insecurities, and they manifest themselves into anxiety attacks from time to time.
Physical,
yeah, especially when I'm in new settings. Yeah, I mean, it's something I still struggle with, and it's funny because it's my biggest gift and curse, because it's a curse because I hate it, and I wake up every day, bro, and I hate it, dude. Honestly, it's like it could like drive me to like insanity some days how bad it gets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just not having control and just like not being able to just enjoy like the simple things of life. Like I know I should be. The fact that I'm still breathing when so many of my friends from my life aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but try telling that to somebody that's suffering from depression or anxiety. Yo, you should be more grateful. You should feel better about your situation. It doesn't help until you're able to control it. I hate to say this, Joe, but honestly, like I've had times where like I didn't want to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like where like I of course, like I never planned my death or even thought about it like that seriously. But like, you know, I'll always remember a conversation I had with my sister in Nantucket. We took a family trip there, and time I spend with my family now will always mean something more to me than it ever has, because I almost lost them all. You know what I'm saying? Because of my own actions. You know what I'm saying? In those 10 years that I just hurt and abused everyone. They were collateral damage to my addiction and my dealing and the things that I did. And when I get time to spend with my family now, it means the entire world to me. And so I was with my sister one day, and it was just like this sunny day in Nantucket. We were there for like some trip, and I told her, like, this was probably like 2013, 2014. I was like, yo, like, I'm just not in a good place right now. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was like, I just, like I think about not being here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I'll remember that, and it's good to remember that, because I don't feel like that now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's important, man. Because I'm sure there's people listening, people who can relate to feeling that and not being aware that it can go away.
Yeah.
And your life right now is so different. Like,
well, that's my biggest. So that's the biggest. Kind of pedestal or vertical that I stand on for people that watch me, and is just to let people know that it will get better. You know what I'm saying? And but my days aren't like that anymore. And so like I like to tell people that no matter how dark your road gets, and no matter how much you feel like the world is weighing down on you and putting you in a place that you could never make it out of, and the day gets so dark and there's nothing left, you can't see anymore because everything is so
clouded.
Dark,
yeah.
Keep that little light, just that little light. I had just the littlest glimmer left, you know what I'm saying, of that light within me to keep going, and that was what got me through. And now it's a big bright light, and I deal with a little bit from day to day, but I'm so blessed and so lucky to be sitting here with you today and just like having a candid conversation about that. Like I could never even try to say like I'm sad about or anything. Like I struggle, but I'm good though. You know what I mean? If you've made it through addiction or mental illness, you have something. Because a lot of people don't. If you are still kicking today, battling those demons, you have something. Because a lot of people didn't wake up today because they couldn't make it. They couldn't cut it, and you did.
It's just like, dude, it really is never too. I didn't make my first 100,000 until I was 33, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, dude, like, it's just really not too late, bro. It never is. There's ways to work around it. There's night schools. There's hustles. There's side hustles. There's put your kids to bed and go hit online, learn e-com. There's a million ways to do it. And you know, on the contrary, it does take a lot of things to create this concoction that we call success. Yeah. It's not just like, oh, I was a hard worker. Yeah. Bro, there's a million people out there that work just as hard as you do, and they're never gonna make it. There's a bunch of things that need to come together: timing, luck, network, hard work, execution, all that. Yeah, but just just run a housekeeping business. You know what I'm saying? You got to start there. You got to start as a housekeeper. You got to start as a garbage man, or you got to start at this or that. But by that, give it 5-10 years and figure out how to turn that thing into a hustle. And usually, you never see it, but like until you get so accustomed to it being the fact of the matter, those troughs are always the most important times. Those times when you're down and you're sitting in the basement, you're like, how the fuck am I gonna pay rent this month? But or this is happening or that's happening. Those always end up looking back at those and being like, yo, thank God that happened to me. Because if that didn't happen to me, I never would have been where I am today. It just never would have happened.